Good morning, everybody. It's Kathy at One Sweet Shop. I thought I'd share with you what I'm making today. I'm working on some paper flowers, and I've made these just with plain copy paper, but it's colored copy paper. And I did it by making dimensions on these flowers. I'll show you the punches that I used. I used this one. It's a 3-inch punch by Paper Shapers, EK Success. I think this is a 3-inch. I think this is a daisy or something. I'm not sure if it's a daisy because this one might be a daisy, and this is from Recollections. So I use this punch for the center and this punch for the outside edges, and I use this punch also for the greenery that's underneath them here, and I just kind of shape them. But I'll show you what I was doing. Now I used my Distress ink, and I had punched out a bunch of these, and I was just coloring up some of the edges. I just wanted to get some of the edges to have a little bit of brown on them before I put the flowers together. But I'll show you some of the ones that I'm putting together here. These are turning out beautiful. It's for a project that I'm working on. I'm going to move some of these off to the side because I want to get into my box. My box has a whole bunch of punch outs in, and for some reason I'm having a little bit of trouble with my punches. So I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to punch out here. Just because I seem to be having problems with this punch here. It doesn't seem to want to be punching the petals out. Some of these flowers I also used a smaller size of this punch. I think it was a 2.5. I don't have that punch here right now. I have put it somewhere else. So I can't do that in the middle of these ones that we're going to make. I did some in colors. Just I wanted to see what they were going to turn out like. And I really like this pearl that was in the center of them. I really, really like that pearl. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a whole bag of them. And these are very lightweight. It's almost like they have a foam core in them or something. Something foam inside them. And then they're covered with the pearl. And I bought those because they're really lightweight and it was just perfect for this. Now these flowers are going to be mounted probably on a stem. I don't know if I'm adding extra petals yet. I haven't quite decided. This one, my pearl went a little wonky sideways. I have to move it. There's 2 of them like that. These 2. And I think it's because it tipped over in the box I was putting them in to dry. So I have to move those pearls over. But we're going to work on a couple here. Or at least 1 or 2. And I'm going to pull out my glue. And I'm just going to start doing some of the gluing. And I'm going to start with the base here that I have. Oh, is this glue not going to work? I don't have very much strength in my hands for these glues, I'll tell you sometimes. It's like they make them so thick. And they're really hard to squeeze. So what I do is I overlap the petals like that. And to get this kind of shape that happens with these, I'll show you with both of them. These are made from cardstock, so they're quite a bit heavier. And what I do is I go like this. And I curl them. And yes, I have to do that with every single petal. And with these ones also, that's how I shape them. I curl them. I curl every single petal that I've punched out. It's actually pretty tedious, but I sit and sometimes I watch TV. And that's when I'll start curling all the petals. So, do you know what? I think I'm not going to use that glue because I'm struggling to squeeze it. And my hands are sore today. My arthritis is saying it doesn't like me today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this glue. Whoops. Because it's a little more liquidy. As you can see. And I'm just going to start gluing and placing the centers down on these flowers. All the ones that I've curled. And it's okay if some of them don't have the browned edges from the shading, if you don't have browning. The pink ones and the blue here that I made, I hadn't shaded those. They're fine. I just preferred to shade mine. That's the only reason why I did it. And it's not because it needs to be shaded. It really doesn't. Now, I think what I did is I did about 8 layers of the larger petal. And then I think I did about 6 to 8 layers of the smaller petal. But we'll see. We'll see how many I think I might need here. I might try to go with a little less, just so that it's doesn't take so many flowers. I had a really hard time punching these final ones out because my punches just were not working properly. So that's pretty good. It's kind of a thinner flower. I think I'm going to put another couple more. So I think I am going to use the 8. Just because I think it needs it for that dimension, so I can squeeze it and curl it. In the end, my throat is really hoarse today. I've got to go do some work outside on my house, and I'm really kind of trying to avoid it. I'm procrastinating here today. So that's enough for this flower. We'll be able to kind of puff it up, and I'm going to go around it, and I'm going to ink it some more. Now we're going to get these small ones here, and I'm not sure how many of them I actually curled. Yeah, I might have enough here. And we're going to start putting those little flowers into the center of the big one. And what we want is we want to make it look really, really full like this one is. So that when we curl them up, all those petals seem to stick together really nice. I think what I should do, actually, I need to brown some of these a little more. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this together by itself first. And I'm going to brown it. And then we're going to put it inside the big flower. A couple of those had a little bit of brown on them, so they're okay, but I know that these ones don't have any. And I want to make sure I get a little bit on them. It's just to give them a feeling of being alive, you know. I think I need to curl a little more before they go in. It's not the easiest job to do, of course, but it's okay. Sometimes I use a smaller pair of scissors, and those work really, really well. They really curl nice. I have these ones here. These ones curl. Those ones had a little bit of a jagged kind of edge, so I sometimes rip the petals off with them. It makes it a little harder to curl them. There we go. Let's put that one in there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my distress and show you. Oh, I should have done the last petal. Well, maybe I'll do another one. I usually take the last petal that's going into the center and give it a little more brown. Just because I want it to show up quite a bit. So let me curl these a little. It's not the easiest thing to do with your hands. Just with arthritis, it's really hard to curl things sometimes. Alrighty. There we go. Now, what I take is I take my little brush and I start going around the edges here. And it's just to give it a little bit of color on all those petals. And I'll do the same with these. Whoops. I'll do the same with these as I go around. And then we're going to take and put that in the center. Oops, a little bit too much there. We're going to put that one in the center, and then we're going to squeeze. And what happens is they all start curling up. And look at how nice and brown those little tips go. They look so good. And then we're going to take and put our little pearl in. Now for this, I do want to have this heavier glue because I know it'll dry harder. And I want to make sure it's right in the middle there. And we're going to put our little pearl in. There we are. Make sure it's in the middle. There we go. Now we can take this that we put together. And what's going on with this? It's moving around here. And we're just going to brown these edges too. Just to let these look like they're alive and not paper. And we're going to put some glue on there. I'll use a little bit more because it's cardstock, a little heavier. And we're going to put our flower in. There we go. Push that down so it's in there. And look at that. It's a beautiful little flower. And actually, the next time I make this, I'm not going to add the second leaf because I need to put the stick that's going to be holding it in between them. And I need that leaf free. But what I'll do is I'll just put another one on. That's all. And it's almost, I don't know what kind of flower you'd call this. It's a little mixture. I do have some pink ones there I'd love to try. Put this one off the side to dry. I have these pink ones that I made, and I kind of shaded them with a little bit of pink color. I do like it. Just letting it kind of swirl in my finger as I'm doing this. And getting all those tips to have a little bit of brown on them. Let's see what it looks like when we... Oh my goodness, my kitty cat is demanding that someone come see her. She is meowing. I don't know why she started to do that. You know, she's fixed, and she used to meow when she was not fixed. But for some reason, this summer she started to meow. I need to build a little kitty cat enclosure outside so I can have her out there just enjoying the sunshine. That's probably what she wants because she does remember that last summer she was able to go outside on her little leash. But that was in a different yard. I actually had a fence, so she was protected. And I didn't have to worry so much about her. She would just mostly come up to the deck or whatever and sit. But I don't have a deck here. She doesn't have anything to hide under. So, ooh, that one's got a broken petal. Well, we're going to hide it in here. So even when we break our petals there, we can still use the other ones to give it this dimension in here. That'll get covered up, no problem. There we go. Oh, my hand is cramping just because I have arthritis bad. And, okay, so let's do I want to see what this would look like inside the pink one. I might not like it, so I may not glue it down. But let's take a look anyway. It might actually look kind of cute. Alrighty. Let's give this one a little bit of a curling up again. Good thing about paper is once you curl it, it kind of has a memory of what you've done. Oh yeah, look at that. That is really cute too. I like that. You know what would look really good is if I did one. Here's one. I didn't realize I had one. Let's try this. I want to ink this really well though. Let me see. Where's my piece of paper? Let's get this one pretty brown. And let's put it right in the center of those white ones. This is the first time I'm trying this, but I thought, you know, it might be really cute. So I want to try it. Yeah. Okay. Let's curl those up. Please don't rip off the petal. We're going to put this inside of here. Oops. There we go. And let's pop this one in there. There we go. And what happens when we do that? Well, look at that. I kind of like that. It probably would have been better had that been smaller, maybe a smaller flower. But you know what? I'm going to put it in here anyway. Oh, I left a big bubble in there, but that's okay. Let's put it in there. We're going to let that dry. And we're going to put a pearl in here and see if we like it. The only reason I'm doing this is because I have quite a few of these pink flowers that I cut out. I had pink, blue, and purple at one time. And I'd like to use them up. So if I can get these flowers to look adorable also, that's half the battle. Look at that. I really like those. So I think I'll make the rest of them up. What do I have here? I need 3 at least for a little bouquet I'm making. So I can make 2 sets of them just because I have a couple of these flowers sitting in there. So I'm going to use them up. And I might even use, I think I have some purple in here. What do I have? Let me pull from the box. I have an awful lot of petals that I've been punching out. I also have some purple. So I may make a set of purple. I have some of them curled. And what else do I have in here? Oh, I have a lot of stuff in here. I have more pink flowers. Oh, here's a smaller one. That's what I should have used in there. So I do have that small punch. I'm going to have to look for it. It must be inside my punch tote. I have a Rubbermaid tote and it's full of punches right to the top. I have some blue. So you know what? That's these blue flowers here. I may make the blues too. And just see if I can make 6 of them. Just so I can have 2 sets. Would be nice. And then I have this green. But this green is going to be all petals, I do believe. Just because this is all the green that I had. And I was using up the paper. So I thought, well, I'll use up all the paper. I have this really pretty bright green. So some of them I'll put, some of the flowers, maybe I'll put the really bright green underneath with maybe one of these. We'll see. I'm going to brown them up anyway with my ink. So they'll be a little bit brown on the edges. They won't look this bright. But then I have this sagey green and then this dark green. So I'm going to use them all up. They're going to look great. These are going to be Mother's Day flowers. So I'm really happy that I'm making them. I'm going to get them done this weekend because that was what's on my agenda board to have done. So I have my little list of things that need to be done by date, and this is what needs to be done. So these will be done this weekend. Maybe when I put them together on their flower stems, I will take a few pictures and do just a little short of what they look like, all put together as bouquets. So, but anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you got to see how to put some of these little flowers together. They're a little different. I love making them. I could make these every day. I would love to have a huge, I might even make myself like a swag of these paper flowers because I really like them. I love the cream color actually. It's probably my favorite. So I made more of the cream than anything else. And I'm quite happy with them. But anyway, I hope that maybe if you have some punches, it'll inspire you of how to curl your flowers around and how to put them together to make something that's really dimensional. They actually look quite real. So I really, really love them. But you take care. You have a happy day. Enjoy yourself. Craft on. And I'll see you again.